Well, good afternoon to you all, good afternoon. Tuesday, 18th of June 2024, and I'm trying to get things done to make it look as if I've done something, basically. Yeah, and some bits I'm very pleased with the way they're going. You know, I look at that and I think, yeah, happy with that. And then I look at a bit like this and I think, actually, I'm quite happy with that. Not too happy with that bit, but I can probably live with that. Yeah, and then I look at, you know, that shutter nicely repainted and the start of getting some of those stones, how they start to look good. And I think, you know what, I'm happy with that as well. You know, these are my triumphs. These are the things that I want to show off about. Yeah, what goes with triumph? What was it Kipling said? If you can meet with triumph and disaster and meet those two impostors just the same. Yeah, well anyway, I took the other shutter down so that I could paint it, make it look tidy. You can't have one beautiful shutter next to one tatty, ragged looking shutter, so I took the other one down. And it took quite a bit of demounting because the little pin thingy was at a very strange angle. It's all sort of all going wrong in the stonework. So I put my ladder up the wall and I climbed up my ladder, holding a camera in one hand, doing it slowly so as not to fall off, and I examined the stone that had the pin in it. Yeah, what has happened at some time in the past, this stone has burst and gone all horrible, and somebody thought it was a jolly good idea to bang nails into it and then to tart it up with concrete. And some of you know what happens if you put ferrous material, you know, iron, into something that's going to get damp and then dry out and get damp. And yeah, and of course the whole thing just sort of, yeah, turned into a disaster. But, well, we'll do our best to make that look pretty again after a cup of tea. Well, taking a different angle of this stone, that is actually quite interesting. It's my suspicion that these stones were robbed out of a different building, and this sort of thing actually confirms that in some ways. These two stones, which are shaped and cut to be part of a doorway or a frame or something, they've got this wonderful socket cut into them. A socket the right size to take a beam or a bar or something, which doesn't make sense in a window frame, but it might make sense in a doorway, might make sense in a different job somewhere. But the problem that I need to address, this is what's caused most of the problem, where a piece of iron has been put into the stone, and of course iron rusts, and some of you know rust occupies about 10 times the volume that the parent metal does, and when a piece of iron rusts it expands, and over time it will create actually quite a large amount of pressure. It will just split stone. So I want to get the rest of that rust out, and I want to cut these stones nice and, well, I'll square them up, and then I shall go to the local stone store. Oh, that'll be the back of the garden then, and we'll see if I can find a nice piece of stone to cut and to let in. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tea drunk on this job, because I'm going to be cutting and grinding stone, which creates a lot of dust. Oh well, you know, it isn't as if there's anything on the telly today, so I haven't got a telly. You know what I mean.